Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chadfilms here. It is actually 2 a.m. in the morning, and I am outside of the place I live at, right? And it's like I kind of should be just sleep, like in my bed, laying down, watching a documentary, going to sleep, and preparing to document and film. But instead, I really do have the urge to film because this is the beginning of my first off day in a few days. So, and I still have this urge to complete this project. I figure if I work on it every day for the rest of this year, I'll have it set up and I'll only have to add to it. But right now, I'm creating it from the ground up. And right now, I feel like I've gotten the gist of my backstory out to you all. I feel like from the backstory, like my personal backstory, I really didn't mention Chadfilms and that whole era. I feel like at this point, some people would know that, or you could find that somewhere else. So I'll tell you that later. But really, this project is really for philosophical value. This is really for emotional value. This is really my chance to not take to the grave all I have experienced, all I have learned through what I have experienced, from what I have experienced, from what I went through. You know, not most. Okay, do you know somebody besides me that, well, I want to say besides me because I don't know when I'm going to die, but do you know somebody that died young? I think everybody does. And one of the things that hurts the most out of somebody young dying is that you always have that thought of what they could have been, what they would have done, and what they wanted to do, and what they were going to do, and what would have happened. And you feel like they were robbed of that, and you were robbed of that, and the planet was robbed of that, and the universe was robbed of that. And I've experienced that personally at least twice, just as far as me being an adult and losing a friend. Because I lost a friend, I lost my first friend when I first became an adult. I was 18, he was 17, Asia Grover. And then, he died on Mother's Day 2008 car accident. And then that was the first and last friend that died, of mine, like close friend that I had. I was with this family at the funeral. I drove to the funeral with his cousin. I was sitting right next to his brother at the funeral, like I was there, man. Like I was right there. I was that close. And after that, I didn't have to deal with a friend dying until 2012, which was Honey, Vanessa Malone. She was murdered, and then that was the first friend that was murdered, and that was a whole different blow to the psyche. It's a whole different vibe. The car accident, you can get over that, over the car accident part, 'cause it's like an accident. It's like kind of natural, and it's like a human error. But the murder, that's definitely a human error. But it's a malicious intent involved, and oh man, all this negative emotion. It's like, oh man, so many other things involved. It was such a deliberate act of malice intent. It was like it was so purposeful. Like I don't, nobody really, nobody killed Nasia, and Nasia died in an accident. Honey was murdered by another person who's mad. What the? Uh, so anyway, so to have to go through the pain of the event and the person not being there anymore, and then to have those afterthoughts of what they could have been and what they wanted to be, and feeling like they were robbed, I feel like I went through that personally twice, Nasia and Honey. And that's where the theory comes from. The Nasia Grover, Vanessa Malone film theory, film life theory. It's the film life theory. It's the film life plus this theory. Like I'm combining it because film life was something I was doing before, but now that I'm doing this, it takes it to a whole new level. Um, so that's my way of re, putting them in history one more time. I'm solidifying a spot in history right now. I'm just documenting it right now. Anybody that listens to this, they become immediately aware of the Nasia Grover, Vanessa Malone film life theory. And that theory is basically if somebody actually films, they document their experiences on Earth while they're on Earth. Then when they are no longer on Earth, that would be a priceless commodity, and priceless in the sense of priceless, not for money, but really just for the value of it. It does a lot for the psyche, and to just tell you from the perspective of the person that's actually doing it right now, I feel so invigorated by this process, because if something were to happen to me, because I had a near-death experience, man, where a truck almost took my life away, and after that moment, it hit me when I continued walking home or whatnot. It hit me like, if I would have died right there, that would have been it. Whatever I had done would have been what was done, and I didn't like that. I was like, oh, I gotta. That's all I became obsessed with after that, was I need to have more before I die. And it wasn't on a material sense. It wasn't that. It was just like, I need to be known for something more than what I'm known for now. Like, you know, like, I don't just want to be known. I want to be known for something. Like, don't get it misconstrued. I'm not somebody who just wants fame. No, I look at it like it's people out there that have the influence and they don't do anything positive with the influence. Like, they do nothing with the influence. They do nothing positive or constructive or productive with the influence. And I feel like that's because the plain and simple fact is, if you do have the influence and you do something positive, productive, and constructive, you're most likely going to catch a bullet to the dome in front of anybody. It don't matter where you at. They'll kill you anyway. And everybody's afraid of that. And I feel like that's comprehensible, yes, but so are other possibilities, such as, what if somebody came around who was fucking crazy enough to just say, I'm gonna expose the monster in the closet in front of everybody, and then when the monster comes out the closet to grab me, everybody's gonna see it, and then they're just gonna become aware that there is a monster in the closet. And once the monster tastes me, then there's gonna be a release of energy that's going to spread more awareness of the monster. You know, it's like this. You got your political figures like RFK, MLK, JFK, right? And you know, they get office and stuff like that. And, you know, not MLK didn't get office, but just like, you know, the people that do get office, like become president or whatnot, if they take a route that JFK took, as in like getting rid of the Federal Reserve, cutting away their power, and getting rid of the CIA, and, you know, Peace Corps, and getting rid of the armaments and the nuclear warheads and the peace treaties and all this and similar stuff. If the average president does that, then they will die, right? And the ones that do, they do die, right? And once they die, it's like almost like the hope dies, because there's nobody else fighting for it. But what if JFK or RFK, what if they left a real manuscript, a real documentation of what to do next? Like, what if it was somebody crazy enough to know that they're not gonna live to see the outcome that they intended when they started? And it's not about that. I don't have to see it to the finish. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? What matters is that it gets done. You know what I'm saying? I believe I'm an indigo child, and I know what the indigo child is responsible for. Not fully, but I know the gist of it. The gist of the indigo child is the indigo child. They came after the 70s and the 80s. They came in those times, late 70s, 80s. The indigo child, they break through the forest of the bullshit. And that's why we're going through all what we're going through, because we're the ones that's going to break through the bullshit. Then it's going to come the crystal child. Crystal child is going to float right through the forest, because we broke down all the trees. Then after that, it's the rainbow children that bring the forest back together. So if I got to be an indigo child, then hey, it's all good. Be a beautiful rainbow. But yeah, we got 20 seconds left, so I'm going to let y'all let that simmer. We're about to get to the nitty gritty. That's basically what this is, an introduction. We're about to get to the nitty gritty right now.